Hey guys, it's Wednesday. I think it's Wednesday, July 8th. I have a special guest for you guys today. We have Kelly that is joining us from the Las Vegas Convention and
And
Visitor Authority, right?
perfect. It's a
Um,
mouthful, I know.
how are you, Kelly?
Doing great. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, thank you for joining. We're gonna wait a little bit. I think we have five that have just joined. If you guys just joined, let us know that you're here. Just say hi. We'd love to, as always, get your feedback, get some questions, get some comments about Las Vegas. If you're selling Vegas, if you see any more requests for Vegas, as always. So just let us know again if you're live with us and you're seeing it. We'd love to give you a lot of information and what's important and what you need to know about Vegas. We have Marty. Let me just move my thing here. Oh, sorry.
Oh,
Uh, hey,
these are
Patty. Hey, Victoria. Yeah, we have some people that are joining us. So, Kelly, what you start talking? Let us know about Vegas and about you. What exactly do you do there?
absolutely. Well, that's a good place to start. I suppose I can handle that. I actually am the Senior Director of Leisure Sales for the Las Vegas Convention and Visitors Authority. I've been here just about 8 years now, so time flies. But prior to that, I was very much involved in the hotel world in Las Vegas. I worked at everything from Circus to Four Seasons. So very much involved in the hotel sales world, travel industry, and engaging with people like those that who are on this call right now.
Oh,
So that's
yeah,
a little bit about me.
great. I think I've met you maybe like 8 years ago or so in one of the GTMs, and then I've
Oh,
done some other events in the area. So we have Fior, we have Debbie, we have Emma. Hey, Emma. Uh, yeah, yeah, that's nice. Okay, so I think we're ready to start. We have 13 right now on the line, and then we'll have a few more people joining us. I'm sure of it. So tell us a little bit about Vegas. What's Vegas says is I know Vegas is open,
yes.
and I know there's some restrictions like face masks. What
Yeah.
is going on in Vegas right now?
So we actually officially reopened the resort corridors, what we like to refer to as the gaming properties. Our hotels, our non-gaming hotels, they remained open through the shutdown. The smaller motel styles, those were open, but the major resorts, where we really are, what we're really known for, those were closed until June 4th, and then they slowly started to reopen. Definitely new safety protocols in place. The very first day I went out and about and kind of toured some of the properties. And what you're basically seeing are those enhanced cleaning protocols. You're going to see a lot more wiping down of high touch areas, using hand sanitizer stations all around the casinos. And in fact, at the MGM resort properties, they actually installed physical hand washing sinks and stations, beautiful marble counters and everything, all throughout their casinos. Temperature scans as you walk in and out of the casinos, as well as probably the most visible was the plexiglass barriers that were put up, not just at the front desk and the cage and where you walk up and interact with someone, but at the tables. And I thought, how in the world? And they did it in such a way it's almost unnoticeable. They have, the tables are usually set up like a little horseshoe shape. You have your dealer behind and the 3 or 4 players in front, and plexiglass barriers between each player. In
Oh,
the
wow.
situations, yeah, it worked out really well. In situations where you can't have that, like roulette and craps, it's just physically not possible. That's where you'll see more spacing between the players, and that's where the masks came into play. At first, no masks were required by the guests, and then it was, if you're in the casino, you had to have your mask, and now it's been enhanced to where anyone in the public space does need to wear a mask, guests and employees. So that was probably the key differences of what we've phased into. Some of the other things that I thought were really innovative, again, at the MGM resorts, they implemented a contactless check-in where you can check in on your app, much like Hilton or Hyatt. They have those apps where you check in advance, you get your key delivered to your phone, you use your phone to open the door, and you don't even have to have that interaction. So they're seeing a really high adoption rate now. People wanting to do that and appreciating having that ability to get their key delivered to them and just go straight up to their room.
It is convenient. I've used it with other, like the major brands like the Marriott's, and so it is quite convenient. You've mentioned sinks. They have sinks. Where do they put the sinks?
In the casinos themselves, they installed large hand washing stations, and I thought they were just going to be, like something you'd see maybe in the back of the house of a kitchen where it's a stainless steel sink. No, they built out these beautiful cabinets with marble counters and porcelain sinks, so you have soap and water. So if you're not a hand sanitizer person, you really prefer to just wash your hands, that's an option.
Okay, interesting. Well, I hope I hope some of these measures will stay even after, because it's always good to have things.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
can get sick out of, you don't, it doesn't have to be COVID-19. It could be something else.
I remember back in the day when it was very common to have physical coins that you put into the slot machines, and they used to give out the hand sanitizer wipes because your fingers would just be black from the coins.
Oh,
So, and then that went away when we went paperless, and it was all about the you insert your cash and it just puts credit. Well, now we're kind of going back to that, and it is nice because you are touching quite a few things, just in general. And you think about that now, we're thinking about all of that differently. So hopefully they do stick around.
we have a few more people that join. Hey, Cindy. And again, if you've just joined us, if you have any questions for us, let us know. Just type them below, and Kelly would love to answer them. We're also raffling. We have a door prize. We have a Kelly has it. Yeah, a nice red tumbler. So we'll ask a question at the end. So please stick around until the end. We'll ask a question of something that was mentioned here in the session, and Kelly will ship it for you. We'll ship it to you. As always, you'll have to send me a message. I'll let everyone know just to make sure that it's the rules are clear.
Yep.
Hi, Patty. Okay, so Vegas, I've been hearing, I saw in the news, I see traffic jams, people coming into Vegas. Is it mostly local? What's the occupancy?
Well, we don't get or give out actual occupancy numbers by property, just that's proprietary, I guess. But from what we're hearing anecdotally from the hotels, the weekends, the Thursday, Friday, Saturday night, really more so Friday and Saturday night, are selling out. Now, when we say selling out, you think, oh, 4,000 rooms at this hotel and 3,000 at that hotel. Not exactly. They're not all running full inventory. Many of the hotels have chosen to close off anywhere from 40 to 50% of their available inventory, just because of the fact of limiting the number of people. Because you think of every one of those rooms, there's 2.3 people for every room. They're trying to control the spacing, maintain the amenities so that if you go to the pool, that you're able to get a seat. If you go to the restaurant, you're able to get a reservation. So 100% of 40 to 50% of these large resorts on the weekends filling up, no problem. They could definitely fill even more. Midweek, Sunday through Thursday, Sunday arrival, Thursday departure, not as much. A lot slower during the midweek because we don't have the meetings business. So what you're going to see out there, everyone, is tremendous value in terms of hotel rooms and also air and hotel packages. We did a little shop around of flights from various cities throughout the country, coming in on a Sunday, staying for 3 nights, and we're seeing some crazy prices. In fact, I have them right here in front of me. Let me reference my sheet here. For example, from Dallas, a Sunday through Wednesday, end of July, staying at like the Strat or somewhere like that, $243, $256, $301 through some of the for 2 people.
Oh, wow.
2 people, both, not per person.
Okay.
We had to rub our eyes and look at that number again and went, wait, what? So it's definitely something to, if you have clients who are flexible enough to travel midweek, definitely push them that way. The value is unbelievable. We've not seen prices like that in a long, long time, but it's unfortunately it's necessary.
Travel professionals, when you do sell Vegas, most of the resort fees on the properties are not included. So
correct. Right.
So yeah, sometimes it'll be, 30, 40, $50 a day extra. So just make
Yeah.
sure when you sell, especially on a $250, $240 package.
Sure. Good
Uh,
point. Many, or if not all, of the hotels actually, though, did waive their parking fees. So because we're anticipating or seeing so much drive-in traffic from our drive market, Southern California, Arizona, even parts of Utah, that the parking fees have been waived, which I think was a smart thing to do on the part of the resorts, because if you want to be able to drive in, you have to make it easy enough for them to do. And I think we were chatting before about drive-in traffic, and I actually have a visual, but if you want to show it, it's kind of, I think it's pretty telling in the times. But one of the things that we have, I have it up on my screen there, it was showing, this is a historical auto traffic on the I-15 coming over from California, and you can see all of the red bars pointing downward. At the peak of the shutdown, we were at 82% below year over year. And now, as you see, there's one little baby green shoot. I don't know if you can make it out there.
on the right.
Friday, July 3rd, we actually had 15% more auto traffic on that I-15 corridor from California. So we're definitely seeing some change. We're seeing some positive change. More people are starting to drive over that border and come into Las Vegas. So,
And that was compared to last year.
compared to last year. So that's a positive thing. Very positive. Now, I don't know how it feels on the highway. Again, 15% more traffic than last year. But on the Sunday going home, only 16% less than last year. So hopefully it wasn't as crowded, because that can get pretty backed up on a holiday weekend.
And in terms of, let's say, the hotel resort experience, restaurants are open, pools.
Yes. In actuality, we have and I'll have to email this to you, and you can share the link out. It's a PDF that we created, and it links out to the hotels, the restaurants, the tours, attractions. Shows are not running just yet, but it will once those are announced. And it's updated in real time. So you keep linking back to that PDF. You can see what's open, what are the restrictions and the parameters around it, all of that information at your fingertips. So we created that for our travel advisors, because we know you're getting asked those questions. But back to it, most of the hotels are open. There's a handful that have not yet reopened, and there's so few of them, I can name them, very easily. On the Caesars Entertainment side, Planet Hollywood, the Rio Hotel, the Cromwell, and Bally's. And then on the MGM, they have not opened. All of the other properties have opened. On the MGM side, the only properties yet to open are Park MGM, Nomad, Mirage, and Badara. And that's significant because when we first started hearing about the opening plans of all the hotels, we were hearing like MGM and Caesars saying, we're going to open up 2 hotels, and then maybe in September we'll open up 2 more. Well, within 2 weeks, they were opening up 2 more, and then 2 more, and then 2 more, because the demand was that high. And they didn't want to go over that 50 to 60% occupancy threshold or inventory threshold.
Mm-hmm.
Tropicana has not yet opened, and that's a pretty iconic property. So we're still waiting to hear from them. But they were going through a sale basically, so that might be part of that situation.
Hilton, or is a Hilton, right?
It's a Hilton. It's flagged under Hilton, correct? Downtown, everything is open. The remainder of the strip is open. I don't think there's, I can't think of any other hotels that I know of off the top of my head that are not. But if there's one that somebody has a question on and it's not on the sheet, it will probably be
closed. The REI is open?
Aria just opened July 1st. Okay. Yep, definitely. In terms of restaurants, they're not opening every single venue, but as the demand grows, they're opening more and more restaurants. Again, originally the plan was, well, we'll open up, a breakfast, a lunch, and a dinner place. Well, they found that they needed to have more. So, for example, at the Cosmopolitan, every single restaurant is open, including their buffet, which that presented.
Or open?
Say that again?
That was my next question regarding the buffets.
Only 2 buffets have reopened, the Cosmopolitan's Wicked Spoon and the Wynn. They opened up their buffet as well. 2 different methods. So the Wicked Spoon is having you go up to the buffet line and say, I would like that, I would like that, I would like that. And the server will hand it to you, and everything is pre-plated, individually portioned. And that's how they always had them pre-plated individually. but it was you would take the item. Now it's the server gives it to you.
Okay.
Conversely, at the Wynn, you're seated at your table and you never leave the table. You're given a one-time use menu, which lists out every single item that is available on the buffet, and you can order piece by piece or all at once or one of everything, two of everything, whatever you want.
Oh,
and
wow.
the server goes and gets it and brings it back to your table, which I actually went and dined there, and it was a really nice way to do the buffet. I have to say, I enjoyed having it brought to me kind of tapas style.
Yeah, I would see them go back to some of the people. Just start, like the terrasterias where the green light, red light, just start bringing everything
Yeah, they bring it in phases. They don't bring it all at once to your table so you're overrun, but they'll bring a few dishes and bring a few more, and it was super quick. I thought, I wonder how this is going to work as far as timing. I was in and out in an hour and 15 minutes, and that's only because my dinner companion decided he wanted one more prime rib dish. So we had to wait. But it was a really enjoyable experience.
So we talked, resorts are pretty much, most of them are open. There's still really, really good prices for our clients. How do we learn a little bit more about, what's open, the current situation, and pretty much training for regarding Las Vegas?
Well, we have a variety of websites. In addition to the resource that I mentioned, that PDF. That's I actually have an image of that too. Let me just scroll to it because it does show. Oh, I thought I had it. Oh, I thought I had an image of it, but I don't. And in any case, yeah, this is the link to it though. If everyone who's on the Facebook call, if you want to take your mobile device out, if you happen to have it handy, you can take an image of that QR code and it'll link directly to this document that we created. But also on our website, our consumer-facing website, which is visitlasvegas.com. You can go to that site and you'll see all of our COVID-19 safety protocol updates by property. This document that I'm with the QR code here that you see on the screen, that's all the opening information about who's open, which restaurants, which tours, which attractions. The other website that I mentioned is strictly about safety protocols. If you really want to know the nitty-gritty about what each hotel is doing and what their opening plan was and their ongoing plans are, that would be where you'd find that at visitlasvegas.com.
Right. Someone's saying that it's a little blurry, so if you could later send me the PDF or the information,
Sure.
I'll post it in the group.
Absolutely. Yep.
Not sure why it's blurry, but
Miracles of technology.
so the website again, it's trackmylasvegasbookings.com, and if I recall correctly, when you track, you get points, and you can utilize the points.
Exactly. That's our learn and earn program. I'm sorry. Say that again.
Can you just go over the program, the points, how the rewards, how does that work?
Sure. Again, it's called the Learn and Earn program, and the website is trackmylasvegasbookings.com. I know that's a mouthful, but so you go there and you just register if you haven't done so already, and then you start tracking your bookings. Anything that you had booked back 24 months, as well as anything further out into the future, as far out into the future as you have bookings, and hopefully there's lots of them coming soon. But each and every one of those bookings that you track earns points. Those points can be redeemed in our rewards catalog. We also use that for incentive programs, fam trips, invites to our various events that we're hosting, webinar invitations, all of those kind of things. But the rewards catalog is probably the most popular piece of the program because it's filled with hotel stays, tours, attractions, eventually shows. We'll be back in there. We also have a variety of Las Vegas merchandise that people like our beach towels are very, very popular. We just added yesterday, in fact, Las Vegas face masks. I don't have a sample of one here, but kind of looks a little bit like this one. Doesn't have the snorkel on it, but it does say our Las Vegas logo on it. And we have those available for you to request using your points, and we'll send them out in packs of 5. So they're great for if you do have clients coming to town. What a great way to also give them that as kind of a thank you for booking with me gift, or keep them for yourself, whichever. But there's no limit on how many you can order. We have I want to say we have like tens of thousands of them coming in.
And we can go right now and redeem. The redemption is open.
The catalog was on hiatus during the shutdown, but we're back up and running as of this week. So you can go in there and see what's available. I'll admit that the catalog items, there's a smaller quantity of items because our warehouse is at minimum capacity as far as employees out there, and the hotels are not able to redeem quite as much, but there is stuff there. So just be patient with us as we kind of transition back into our normal routine. But it's a great program. In addition, we have courses. We took these last couple of months to update the 2 courses that we had already created. We added some new features to it, updated the information, updated our itineraries and brochures, made sure all the information is up to date and correct. But then we also wrote 2 new courses. One is on romance travel, and the other is on how to earn more commissions when booking Las Vegas. So now we have 4 courses total on our site.
So if I did the training a few weeks back or a few months back, I should go and redo all of them?
I would recommend that, yes. The courses themselves are not designed for any kind of a certification program, like some destinations have become a specialist or a certified person or whatever, or an expert per se. Because our destination changes so frequently, we just felt that wasn't even going to be sustainable. So it is always advisable that you go back and do the courses as we revise them, and we'll always let you know. If you did take course number 1 and 2, we're letting you know right now through our Vegas Insider newsletter. Go back and check it out again because they have been refreshed with some new information. And they only take about 10 minutes each. They're very easy to navigate through.
And I think we have some time right now, a little bit.
Sadly, yes, we do. We all have time for all of this kind of stuff, but it's been nice being able to stay in touch with people.
Justin has a request. He wants the Spirit vouchers back. There's like
I'll write the note because Spirit is one of our great partners.
Oh,
and they're always
okay.
They're always willing to work with us, especially with our travel advisors. So I'll reach out to Eric Engel over there at Spirit Airlines and see what we can do to make that happen. That's good feedback. And easy because I can put those in the mail. It's easy.
I know. I used it for a lot of Cirque. I think there were Cirque shows, and so I remember using all of them a few years back. I had tons of points, and I just used all of it. It was fun. It was nice.
Yeah.
I also heard that Cirque du Soleil has some issues, but I don't think it affects anything in Vegas. If I'm
not that we know of yet. I mean, we haven't heard because the shows aren't open yet. If I had to guess, I would say that our Las Vegas shows would be pretty well insulated because they are so popular, particularly at the Bellagio. Sellout show for the past 20 years. I mean, how do you close that show? So I haven't heard any details. I'm waiting to hear, they're going through that restructuring with the bankruptcy that they did apply for. Mm-hmm. And hopefully we'll see that the majority of our shows still hang on. But even if a few did end up closing, it opens up for new shows, and there's no shortage of talent in this country for shows that are coming, especially with the TV shows like America's Got Talent. We have several of those winners featured here, like Matt Franco over at the Link and Tape Face at Harrah's, various other. I forget the other gentleman's name, Shin Yun, something like. Oh, I can't remember his name, but he's at the Mirage. I'm drawing a total blank. Terry Fader was from that as well. So.
And I remember we talked before the session. There's another. If you do the 4 modules of training, there is a unique opportunity. Something with Asta.
Yes, let me put that up on the screen too. So we decided, because Asta has just been so fantastic throughout all of this in advocating for the travel industry, and in Las Vegas in particular. So we really wanted to do something to kind of pay them back, but to also help our travel advisors. So we decided we were going to host 150 lucky travel advisors, that's 150 people, to attend Asta's Global Live conference. Now, it's called Global Live, but it's actually a virtual event, so I want to make that clear. It's being held August 25th through 28th online. And we're going to sponsor those 150 people. All you need to do is, number one, email me to let me know that you want to be considered. And number two, complete all 4 of our courses on the trackmylasvegasbookings.com website. And then at the end of July, or I should say August 1st, we'll go back through and we'll draw those folks who were the lucky winners who are both interested and engaged. And we'll let you know that you've been selected. It's going to be a great opportunity, I think, that conference, for not only networking with your fellow suppliers who you've not now seen for quite some time, but also there'll be educational opportunities. There'll be various other things that are going on with that conference that I think you don't want to miss it.
Right. So I saw. I think it's like to attend. I think from Asta, I think it's like $89 or something. So if you do want to use one of that, the great option, 150 agents will be selected. You just have to do the 4 modules and then email Kelly, let her know that you are interested in it, and hopefully some of you guys from our group will get selected.
Yeah. And I'm fairly certain if you had already registered and then you are selected through our program, Asta did advise us that they would credit back anyone who pre-registered and then was also chosen.
Oh,
so
wow.
Don't you worry. If you pre-registered using early bird, because I think it was $69 through June, I believe, through Asta, and now it's up to $89 per person. So either way.
Nice.
Yeah.
I see supportive feedback. I know Vegas is. I don't know why Vegas needs so much help from travel agents, because you guys have great brand name, but I know you guys are supporting the industry. I see you guys everywhere, every event, tons of local events. Again, back in the day. So I want you to know that the community does appreciate everything that you guys are doing and giving back to the agents, giving us the opportunity to experience. I know all the FAMs, and sometimes they're unique opportunities. Top sellers. I've known a few top sellers that have sold and submitted their bookings and got like a great week or weekend in Vegas sponsored by you guys. So thank you.
We love our travel advisors. We need all the help we can get. We'll never turn it away.
So if you have any questions, I think we covered most of it, but if you have any questions specifically, let us know. Something that we talked about, there's actually a new property opening up with a new concept, right, downtown Las Vegas.
Yes, in the midst of all of this, the construction has continued on, and in fact, they're opening a little bit early. They weren't slated to open anything until the end of the year, and it's called Circa, and it's located downtown on Fremont Street. Very first brand new build from the ground up in decades in the downtown area. So their public space, their casinos, restaurants, and things like that are going to open on October 28th. And then their guest room portion will open December 28th. So they're starting to take reservations now. And they're going to be out there. You're going to see a lot of their salesperson, Michael Printy, out on the road and on these virtual events and doing a lot of promotion very, very soon. But the property is amazing. It's going to have 6 rooftop pools and kind of like an amphitheater setting. And it has a 14 million pixel LED screen. And they're going to use that to show hockey games, football games, any other kind of broadcast events up at that pool area. And it'll be open 365 days a year, which most of the pools close down in the winter, but they're going to keep theirs open and keep kind of the action alive up there. It'll also have the world's largest sports book. So for those bettors who like to bet on, the Las Vegas Raiders or the Golden Knights, they can go and do that at that sports book. And then the owner is from Detroit, and he loves his hometown. So he brings in restaurants from Detroit that are very well known, like Saginaw Delicatessen will be opening up at Circa. He has the D across the street from it, and he has American Coney Island hot dogs featured there as well. So
and it's supposed to be adults only, right?
The hotel?
Yeah.
I did hear that. Yes, I did hear that it's going to be a 21 and over venue. Correct.
Interesting. And that's what I mean, I don't know. I went with my family when the kids were younger, and we had a blast in Vegas. But you don't normally see too many kids. But I think it's I know there's a market for it. I know that people are looking for some adults only properties or concepts. So I think that would be a nice, interesting addition.
Yeah, it'll make a different atmosphere, and I think it's appropriate for what he's trying to build there. And there's plenty of other venues and properties that are way more suitable for families and children. So there'll be plenty of inventory to go around. There is actually another property that's opening, another from the ground up build that we didn't touch on earlier, Roy, but it's Resorts World on the Strip. It's opening in summer of 21, so it's a little ways off, but they're going full force ahead with their building. In fact, I'm going to have a little bit of a tour of their sales center next week, so I'll have more information on that. But it's directly across from the Las Vegas Convention Center expansion. We're building a 1.2 million square foot expansion right now. So even though we're in this unfortunate situation, we are still moving forward with a lot of construction projects. Of course, not to leave out the Allegiant Stadium where the Raiders are going to play starting in September. That's set to open at the end of this month, actually.
So Resorts World, is it part of any of the chains or it's independent?
Resorts World is a brand of its own, but the property themselves, the hotel towers, will be branded through Hilton. So there'll be one tower branded as a Hilton, and it'll be more moderately priced. And then they'll have a second tower branded as Conrad and LXR, which will be more high-end.
Okay.
And will feature some really elaborate suite product.
Bill says that Resorts World will be nice. He has been with them. Okay, in Asia. Is that the same resorts? There's one in Atlantic City. I don't know if that's the same brand or same company. I don't know.
I know they have one in Bimini, and they're opening one in the Middle East, I'm fairly certain. Singapore. They're in some very unique locations. But I'm pretty sure this one is going to be their flagship and their largest, I'm pretty sure. So they were testing. It was just coincidental. I drove down the Strip the other day, which I never do. And this one day they happened to be testing a 10,000 square foot screen that's embedded in the middle of one of the towers. And it's doing all this digital display maneuvering. And I just happened to catch it right when they were testing it. So it was pretty cool. I actually am going to post the video of it from their YouTube channel on my Facebook group, the Vegas Insiders Facebook group.
So it's just what was it? Las Vegas Insiders?
Vegas Insiders.
Vegas Insiders. That's a travel agent focused group, right?
It's a private group, exactly, designed for travel advisors. And we'll probably have some of our hotel suppliers join in as well. But we're still building it. We just launched it last week. So we're up to about 100 members so far. So
all right. I'll put the link on. We'll get you. I think we've just hit about 4,500 agents. So
great. We'll take all of you.
Let's see if we can get you a few hundred more travel agents, travel professionals.
It'll be very Vegas specific, obviously, but we're going to sprinkle in other opportunities. Like I'll post things about Asta, or I posted a story today about a very clever way that a particular travel agency saw some increase in bookings, some different things that they were doing, just sharing ideas, but of course also focusing on some of the stuff that's going on here in town.
Nice. Is there any plans for like next stage, second, I don't know if they call it like in phases, or another round of hotels that are opening up?
I think right now, from speaking to some of the hotels, just one-on-one casually, I think they're at a holding point right now because we saw bookings kind of taper off a little bit, and we are struggling with that midweek segment. So I don't think we're going to see those last few hotels open just yet. Maybe come fall, I think you'll start to see that happening. I think we have plenty of inventory right now for that. We're not entering our phase 3 until at least August 1st. We're in phase 2 through the month of July, trying to kind of just keep things under control. And then we'll see from there. But the next thing to open, the only thing left really, are the day clubs and the night clubs and the shows. The big thing is the shows. How do we get those reopened? Do we allow spectators or live audiences? And if you don't, does it make sense to even open them? There's a lot to consider there. I know that the shows are all chomping at the bit to get back on stage and entertain. So we're anxious to do that. And then come fall with football, that's the next thing we want to find out is, are we going to be able to allow spectators into the beautiful Allegiant Stadium to watch our first NFL team play? Remains to be seen, but we're waiting. We'll be patient.
Yeah. And something that I asked you even before this session, Cindy's asking regarding the convention, the conferences. Um, do we see a lot of, are there any things that is positive? People are coming, or everything just gets delayed for now?
Well, because our meetings are maxed out right now at 50 people, that's making that very challenging. What we're seeing in terms of groups are mainly Smurf type groups or rooms only groups, leisure groups, where they're not having large gatherings together. As far as the big conferences that we're known for, the Magic Conference or the various other 50,000 plus people conferences, those have all been essentially canceled through September into October, and we anticipate that to continue through the rest of 2020. CES for the moment is slated for January of 2021. As you know, that's 130,000 people. They still are very committed to doing that. It's just going to be a matter of figuring out how we make that work, and if our governor will allow it. Those are really the two main components. But at this moment, we don't foresee any of the large conferences and conventions coming back to town. There were some travel industry conferences scheduled. Like Signature was supposed to be here in October. They've gone virtual. We're still waiting to hear about Ensemble. I have a feeling that's October as well. I have a feeling that's going to go virtual as well. But you never know. Fingers crossed. But at this moment, those are not happening.
Yeah. Again, on the flip side, Cindy, what you were asking, if your clients want to avoid the Vegas crowd, not the time. They have great prices and not so much crowd. No shows, but you can still experience Vegas, or get out of the house a little bit.
It's a good point. It's always been kind of a meetings person, leisure person, clashing. Right now, it's all about leisure. It's all about vacation goers. So I have to say, from a selfish standpoint, as a person who is a leisure traveler more so, I love being able to walk through the casino and walk up to a restaurant and walk through the front desk and just kind of be able to own the place. But we know that's not sustainable and it's not going to continue forever. So yeah, if that is someone if you have a client who said, I don't want to go to Vegas because I don't want to deal with the crowds, now is absolutely the time to come and experience it for their first time in a very different way.
And to check out the suppliers that heavily focused on Vegas. There's a lot of them that you guys know, either Southwest Vacations or Travel Impressions or Planet Holidays. All of them, just go and check it out. Kelly was seeing prices from the Dallas area of about $250 per couple for
Yeah.
a 3-4 night stay, right? Midweek.
It was, as an example, and this was, don't quote these prices now because this was about 3-4 days ago. American Airline Vacations from Dallas, end of July, staying at the Strat, $256 for 2 people.
Plus,
So
we get resort fees, but
resort fees and taxes, of course.
For a couple, it is a really great bargain. Unfortunately, not a lot of commission for sure. But if you want, you get your clients out there and traveling again, or maybe they're interested in some domestic, know that you do have the option. Again, clients will have to make sure, you have to let them know that they'll have to wear masks almost anywhere. Again, we're just trying to make sure that people are, aware of what's going on, and they do have options.
Yes. And you mentioned commission. I realize, that package price isn't going to glean a lot of commission. But as I mentioned, we have a fourth course that's about commissionable opportunities. People don't often realize that all of our tours and attractions, or a lot of them, are commissionable. And some of the price points on those are more than the guest rooms. So I definitely encourage you to check those out and see if you can't add that in as, book your air and hotel, but also take care of all of the other things that you want to do while you're here. Go ride the zip line or do an exotic racing or a helicopter over the strip. And those are all commissionable opportunities as well. And it starts to add up. Or upsell room categories too. That's another option as well.
Justin said something about JFK. well, Delta Vacation, 366 for 4 nights in September. So yeah, I mean, if maybe you want to go and visit and see. You haven't been to Vegas recently.
Yeah.
We'll go away. Just you do have that opportunity. Again, the good and the bad. This hopefully we'll never see it again.
Right.
In a year, hopefully everything is going to be packed again, and people will miss not having crowds.
Yes. Yeah. Eventually, we'll get back there. That is true. It eventually will happen.
So if anyone has any questions, let us know. We're getting ready to wrap up the session, but if you do have any questions, let us know. Kelly, anything else that we want to go over?
I'm trying to think. There was I know we covered so much ground already. It feels like we covered the Facebook group. We got the Asta. We talked about Learn and Earn. Those are my main things because that's just really, when you mentioned about you don't know why Vegas needs travel advisors. I wanted to point out, we welcomed 42.5 million visitors in 2019. It was a record, highest ever in the history of Las Vegas. 10% of those visitors used a travel advisor. That is a number that is pretty sizable. 4.25 million, I guess, would be my if my math is right. So we definitely value what the travel advisor brings. And I've been reading articles, and you're starting to hear people are gravitating towards travel advisors. We're feeling it. I can't put a quantifiable statistic to it, but we're feeling the travel advisor being used more than people wanting to book direct because of there was so much uncertainty when this all happened. What did people do? If they had booked direct on their own, they were kind of left high and dry, whereas those who had booked through a travel advisor knew who to go to. That person was getting all the facts and information that they needed. So I think that, like you said, good, bad of the situation, that was definitely a positive that came out, that the value of a travel advisor was enhanced.
Yeah, and again, spend the time, do the education, open up even like Google Maps, see where all the properties are. I remember I had a peak when I used to sell Vegas more. Now, I mean, it's not my focus in general, but I used to do Vegas quite a bit. And when you know the properties, when you maybe visit and see them and see the videos and what's going on, just helps you sell it a lot better. And Vegas is like it's like Disney World. You have to know the ins and out, the shows, the pay, the options, the casinos, but when you do, and if you are specializing in um, selling Vegas, it's a great option.
One thing I wanted to mention about that, you said education. I know people have been doing webinars like crazy. If you're like me, I sign up for 18 of them and then I never attend and then I go back and watch them later. I'm terrible. But we're going to be hosting a weekly webinar series where we're going to be inviting our hotel partners and our travel or tour partners to join in with us. But we're going to do it in a way that's not just death by PowerPoint. We actually are putting a man on the street and turning the camera over to them like we did the lip smacking foodie tour the other day. And we were out downtown Las Vegas walking around with him. So you got a sense of the area. You really felt almost like you were there as opposed to just seeing a still image on a screen. So I highly encourage you to watch for that webinar series to launch. We'll be sending the information out through our Vegas Insider newsletter and posting it also on our Vegas Insider Facebook group so you can know when those are taking place and watch them either live or you can watch the recorded versions like I do. But those are going to be fun.
Okay, nice. So yeah, again, I think we've covered most of it, and we'll put some links regarding the Facebook group. If you have any questions, you could join the group and see some updates. We have a nice door prize that Kelly was giving us. We have a tumbler. I think you had one, right? You had one
right here. Now it's not this actual one because this one, as I said, has a little scratch on it, but this is a Yeti Rambler. There you go. I don't know if you can see my logo on it. There it is. And it's the Yeti brand.
Okay. So to get it, open up, click on my name. Okay. Open up a messenger window. Okay. So Facebook Messenger. Don't post it in the on the chat here. Open up Messenger with my name. And what we're asking for is, as you recall, Las Vegas training, once you qualify, you do the 4, you qualify for something with Asta, right, for their conference. How many agents will qualify for the Asta Live virtual conference? Open up the Facebook Messenger, message me with that number of how many agents. I will later, because some of you might go to my other folder or spam, so I'll check. First one will be the winner. I see some. I see a lot of answers. So the first one, I will let Kelly know. I'll email you, and we'll make sure that it goes to you. So Kelly, thank you very much for the time, for spending it with us and with all of my questions and
I,
in the group. Hopefully, we can get more than the 10% in 2021
yes,
and get some more
I
people.
love that.
So yeah, thank you everyone. We have a few sessions lined up for this week and next week. Make sure to check the events tab. Hopefully you'll join us. Some do have nice door prizes, so please make sure that you check us out live, and then we'll post the link to this video later so people can see it as well. Thank you everyone. Well,
Thanks.
thank you. Bye.
Bye.